Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I want to talk about the Sant Sipahi, the saint warrior, the saint soldier. The saint soldier is somebody who is willing to stand up against injustice, who, according to what Guru Gobind Singh has taught us, will first try all peaceful means to challenge injustice, oppression, intolerance, whatever else the issues are. But if that fails, if the ruler of the day or the government of the day is totally unwilling to listen and keeps oppressing people, then you might come to a moment where the sword, as Guru says, may be used. The sword in modern days will more than likely not be a sword, but it might be a Kalashnikov or whatever. But violence might be used. But violence is only a weapon of the last resort. Now, I live in the United Kingdom. I am not a citizen of the United Kingdom, I'm a citizen of the Netherlands. But I try to be a Sant Sipahi in the context of the United Kingdom. We have a democracy of sorts. It's not an ideal democracy. I think there is quite a bit wrong with it. And I referring back to my talk about the Sarbat Khalsa and the Akal Takat and all that sort of thing. In our system, in Western Europe and in North America and Australia, New Zealand and countries like that, really the system says is if you have 51% of the votes, then 51% is right and 49% is not right. This is not a good principle. This is not a good way of going about the business of running a nation. Government should be inclusive. The government should include the minorities. Just like when you have a local MP, and that MP is a Christian, he should still stand up for the rights of Muslims, of Sikhs, of whoever else, atheist, humanist, whoever lives in that constituency. The same should be by any national government or local government institutions. But the point that I'm trying to make is we are in a democracy. There is injustice in this democracy. There are people who are not treated as they should be treated. And Sikhs should be ready to stand up from, regardless whether these people are of this faith, that faith, or of no faith at all, whether these people are white British or African or Caribbean or Chinese or whatever. We should be there to stand up for people of minorities who get a raw deal. The Sant Sipahi is not necessarily somebody who has big swords and is ready to wield it at any excuse. The Sant Sipahi is most definitely not somebody who fights over differences of opinion on the explanation of the Guru Granth Sahib. The Sant Sipahi should come up for justice. In a democracy, you do that by lobbying your MP, you do that by having demonstrations, you do that by organizing an action whereby as many people as possible send an email to Mr. Cameron or to whoever is the Prime Minister of the time. Whatever ways, peaceful ways there are, should be tried. It is a struggle, but it is a peaceful struggle. Equally, if we look at the moment at the Sikhs in the UK and in North America and Canada, there is a strong movement there that is very interested to get justice for what happened in 1984 and in the years that followed in, for instance, Amritsar in June 1984 and what happened after the assassination of Indira Gandhi in Delhi and in other areas of India ruled by Congress. But this fight these days is not a fight with the Kalashnikov, it is not a fight with the sword, it is a political fight. We are trying to lobby the United Nations, we are trying to lobby the EU Parliament, we are trying to lobby the Parliament of the UK on recognition for the fact that a form of genocide took place in those days. We are trying to get people who are still in prison since 1984 to get them set free. All these issues are there, but and the Sant Sipahi is there, the one who doesn't fight out of anger, who doesn't fight to get property from other people, to conquer land that belongs to other people. The Sant Sipahi is somebody who comes up for the rights of others. And that can be the rights of members of their own community, but also the rights of non-Sikhs. For instance, if you look at the Indian context, there was again a news item this morning from Haryana about a church being demolished by some Hindu hooligans who more than likely belong to this horrible organization called the Bajrang Dal, which is part of the so-called Sangh Parivar. We should be the servant of all. Guru Gobind Singh said, I will serve that Khalsa that serves all. The seva of helping others, of helping the poor, of helping the downtrodden, of helping people who don't get justice, should be to all in this country. When we are concerned about the Indian Union, we should equally be concerned about the rights of the people in Jammu and Kashmir. We should equally be concerned about the people of the minorities in the northeast, or the people of the southern states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala. The Sikh should be the servant of all. The Khalsa should be the servant of all. I see these days many youngsters, especially dressed up in weekend in most wonderful blue cholas and with the longest kasheras, and they wear all kind of items of metalware in their turbans. I'm not against that, but it is not the essence of being a Sant Sipahi. I usually dress in simple blue suits to tell people, to let people know that I try to be a Sant Sipahi. But the essence of being a Sant Sipahi is in your behavior. The essence of being a Sikh is in your behavior. If you have a huge pug and a long beard and the biggest kasheras, that doesn't make you into a Sikh. The ultimate test of being a Sikh is in your behavior towards people in your own circle, your own family, your own Sangat, etc., but also your behavior to the people you meet in the street, the people who are our fellow residents in this country. Our biggest enemy are those panch chor. They lead to egoistical behavior, they lead to bragging, oh, look at me, I am such a wonderful chap, not realizing that all the talents that you have come from God. These we have to overcome. That is the eternal fight. If you haven't won the eternal fight, then you cannot get on that path of Guru where you serve all and you are the selfless sevadar of all, not the publicity seeker, not the person who says, I'm the greatest, the humble servant of all. The Guru's path is not easy, but it is well worth doing, because if you are on the Guru's path, you gain so much. I keep repeating this. We can talk about this, that and the other, but whatever angle we approach Sikhi, we have to follow the Guru's path, and when we do that, then we become more complete personalities, we become better human beings, and we get sahaj, we get inner stability. I am somebody who, even at my relatively advanced age, still tries new things. That's not always easy. You take risk. It's safer to just stay at home and watch the telly. But if you have that inner peace, then you get also the courage to go out and maybe even fail. Then you have the courage to try and be that Sikh of the Guru, that ideal saint soldier that Guru had in mind when he created the Khalsa. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.